What's going on? So I thought I would address the Michael Jordan coming to NBC thing, and some people are saying GOAT's coming back, and they got this mindset that somehow he gonna say something and sway people, and that's gonna flip the LeBron James fan clubs and all that cart. And then some people are saying that the real GOAT and all that. Well, I said this before. In my personal opinion, neither one of them are the GOAT for me. I there's others I would take over him. I'd still take Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'd take Magic over him. I'm not tied to just one person in these arguments, and I'm not tied to the marking of them. You see, what some people who grew up watching Jordan as I did, and who've been watching basketball for quite a long time, don't tell you is that the marketing and the nauseousness of Jordan is just as sickening as LeBron James. It just didn't have social media. That's what they don't tell you. Yes, he was great. But last I checked, he got one more ring than Magic Johnson. You can debate all the other stuffs and accolades and all that, but one more. But because he was a marketing machine, and that's what Oscar Robinson was trying to say about it. Because they marketed him and crammed him, ran him down your throat, that it got nauseating. One of the reasons why he was cool that he did go away and it was downplayed for a while is because people, the shoes were there and the logo was there, but you know, didn't really need to keep hearing it because sometimes when you're a great player, what you do is sometimes it's good to kind of stay away. A new generation either come in to appreciate you. But like a lot of these things, I don't know what it is about the NBA. There's this need to always kind of replace somebody. Remember, football, we can debate Patrick Mahomes. We can debate Tom Brady. We can debate Joe Montana. We can go across generations and eras. People still get their respect. This NBA thing is a whole another kind of plantation mindset that they want you to just anoint somebody to say that they're the best or just have this debate, which is frivolous because eras change, styles change. Holding a microphone and wearing a blazer ain't gonna make people go, oh, if I was to go by personality, and that's another thing, you don't know what kind of personality Jordan's gonna have on TV. Because Tom Brady is still working out the kinks in his. And Brady would be, if you want to use what they go by modernization, he would be the modernization football equivalent to Jordan. And he ain't going to sway people aside if as long as Patrick Mahomes doesn't win a couple more rings. But you're seeing greatness, and you have to expect that another new era has its own greats. So I don't know if people got this mindset. Well, if he talks, it's gonna be like E.F. Hutton, the old school, where people listen, or they're gonna somehow resort not. It doesn't really gonna take anything from what LeBron James has accomplished, and it's not gonna, you know. But the problem I had with it has been the disrespect for the old guard on the whole, and it's got nothing to do with Jordan. It's a disrespect for Dr. J. It's disrespect for Jerry West, Chamberlain, all those guys, and everyone in between. When you hear stupid comments that come out of people's mouths, but I don't think that because see Jordan himself can't really talk too much because he benefited from the way David Stern pushed the modernization of the game. He got everybody thinking of him and Magic and Bird, and they pushed the agenda. They didn't push the Dr. J narrative, the ABA narrative, or the past. See, these things are not that different. And there are people. Now, what the problem is with the game is the pop with the pushing the three ball and the style and all that. And the game's changing all that. The lack of physicality and stuff like that. That's the big thing. However, the agenda to modernize it, that's been there. As much as I can't stand JJ Redick and what he said, they did that with NBC. Because Earl of Pearl Monroe and others were talking about how they didn't want the old guard to speak. There is recurring themes. And Jordan was the center of it as LeBron is being pushed now. See, what they do is basically pick somebody like a plantation and push the agenda off of who's in the field. That's what Craig Hodges was kind of alluding to in certain ways about what he called out the game. They do this. So this notion that if so, first of all, I don't think Michael Jordan's going to come back and be more dynamic than Charles Barkley as a commentator. Now, you can love Jordan's shoes and you can think he was a better player and you can all that. You can't say he's going to be more charismatic than Barkley. Because I've never seen him do an interview or anything where I thought, okay, he was that entertaining. Now, I'm looking forward to what he got to say. But Barkley gives you more bang. Barkley's like the equivalent to 3 or 4 people for me. As much as I like Shaq a lot as a player and his personality, and Kenny the Jet and Ernie, without Barkley on that show, you know that's what I'm talking about. A personality that can command attention. Magic never had it, like not like that. Playing he did, but not like that. Kareem's articulate, never like that. Dr. J. You know, there's certain people that's got a built-in knack. I don't know what people are hoping with Jordan coming back on TV that somehow, yeah, it's gonna be the GOAT, it's the return. Return of what? He's not gonna be any more different than what Tom Brady is on Fox. The game goes on. Mahomes is competing with history. The game goes on. Now we don't have Joe Montana to come back to have no debates because we never hear from Montana. Some greats choose to just go away, and I can respect that. Some never got an opportunity to come back, but to hear what they got to say. But the thing is this: the guy's not coming back to play. So unless you were going to somehow digitally AI him and get him to play, when you hear a guy talking, he's going to talk about his era, but he's got to acknowledge what's going on. So he's going to be a politician. So I don't understand this allure like, oh, he's back. That's all that. Tom Brady's doing it, and Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, etc. Life go on. It's going to be the same thing with the NBA. It's a different era, and you don't have replicas of something like that unless, of course, you know somebody like Anthony Edwards emerges and you get somebody that's a fresh face. But again, and I say that because they would love for Anthony Edwards or somebody like that to blow up and have that kind of situation. But we don't have these situations where um, it's gonna make that much of a difference. It's great to see him back. Just like I like to see Barry Bonds come back and be a broadcaster on TV. They'll never happen, but I would like to see it. You see where I'm going with this? Or you get excited about Mike Tyson, but you're getting excited about it from a past tense. It's great to have fundamentally what cats can talk to articulate and all that, but you're not getting that. So I'm glad. If you're glad because of the association is one thing, but it doesn't really have the same connotation because times have changed. It's a different era. And some people may think Jordan is doing this for people to remember and whatnot. Well, again, people go by what they see, what they've been experienced to, and but again, the NBA has never done a good enough job of really embracing its totality. You got a better chance to find it on YouTube in different places than you do what the NBA has done. I'm just keeping it 100. These commissioners have pushed an agenda to move away from the past. That's why people in the streets, to what JJ Redick said and LeBron said, got away with it. The only thing I will give Jordan is that he never called himself the GOAT and he respected the game. However, he did benefit from the modernization. And part of that was to distance themselves from trying to talk about a lot of the game because everything was pushed as an agenda. And the NBC did to Jordan as ESPN has done to LeBron. There's nothing new. There have been agendas to push the market, the superstar, who's ever the moneymaker. And that's something that no matter what no one tells you is pretty obvious. So all the hype, yes, glad that he's back to talk, but he ain't going to say anything unless he talks about Scottie Pippen or unless he goes into depth. He spoke his in The Last Dance. So, I mean, we already know what he was about. He was great. He was competitive. He was arrogant. He was standoffish. He was cold, but he wanted to win. He had a hunger and a drive. And he had an incredible work ethic, which the way things that he did, which wouldn't work, would work against you, but he made it work for himself. He was a gifted talent, but so was other athletes too. So, again, it's it all depends on how it goes. I like the thought of him being a black man as an owner. And then with the race car and all that, that's what I like. I see him as an owner, you know. But there's so much with the Jordan situation you can't talk about. You can't talk about the gambling. You can't really talk about the baseball. You can't talk about certain things. Because unless he was to really open up, which he will never do, it's just lip service, So, but I mean, it's entertaining for what it is. But anyway, that's my thoughts and takes about this whole Jordan, LeBron, and him back on TV and others. It ain't going to be like what you think. And life goes on. Jordan, just like Tom Brady, Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Hit the membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.